What's going on, stock market investors? My name is Jason, and today I want to talk about SoFi stock. We had a great day for SoFi. 4.40% were up on Friday, and earnings are getting closer and closer and closer. October 29th, pre-market. It's the 11th right now. 18 days away until we report earnings. And look, estimates are at 4 cents per share coming up for Q3. In Q2, we did 1 cent of EPS per share. Man, so Wall Street is really thinking that SoFi stock is going to have a incredible quarter, right? I'm really excited. I think we could see $10 before we get to earnings in, 2.5 weeks-ish. Right now, I'm very excited. I hope you're excited. Today, I want to show you guys all my different accounts. I want to show you every single SoFi share that I own. I want to be as transparent as possible, and that's why you're going to see all of my accounts. All right, first, we're going to start with the big dog. This is our big account, right? Lots of SoFi transactions over the years. Some up, some not up, but we have around $30,000 in this account worth of SoFi shares, 3,300 shares. Not too shabby. And then we also, in my Robinhood account, right, we have another 231 and some change shares. 14% of this portfolio, 21% we are up on these shares right now. I also have some shares in my IRA, right? Here's my IRA. This is my entire IRA. Half of it is index funds. We're up pretty good on all these. And then we have some stocks that were, a little mixed bag. Walgreens is really dragging us down. But other than that, we're up pretty good on these shares. If you look at the summary, we're doing pretty good. 2-year change up 50% over the last 2 years. Doing pretty solid in this Charles Schwab IRA account. Okay, guys. So, as you can see here, we have 305 more shares of SoFi. Adding them up, adding them up, adding them up. And then in my SoFi account, this is all the shares I own in this SoFi account. Pretty much, I use my business credit card for SoFi, and every time I get cash back, I buy some stocks. So this is this portfolio. We got tons of different stuff. We got some QQQ, VOO, VOOG, Schwab, NVIDIA, Amazon, Ally, CVS, Google, Verizon, Disney, Stone, HIMS, QYLD, TSLY, MPW, CleanSpark, and the biggest position in this account is SoFi, 20 more shares. And then in my wife's Robinhood account, which I don't have access to at the moment because she's at work, another 117 shares. So that comes in at 3,975 shares of SoFi. So this means I got to buy 25 more shares, right, to get to 4K. And then I'm selling a lot of cash secured puts. And then in my big dog account, my 6-figure account, I could use margin to sell unsecured puts. That way, I don't have to use my capital. I use their capital at no interest until I actually have to buy the shares. And if I don't have to buy them, I just get to keep the premium. So I'm selling puts in the $7, $6, $5, $4 range over the next 3, 6, 9, 12 months. If we go over to my positions page, I will show you every single options trade I have on SoFi. This is my big dog account coming in at $109,000, guys. And then here you can see all my different options. I trade a ton of options, guys. And that's how I continuously make cash. Pretty much, I got some calls. Let's see. I got some $9, some $8.50s, $2 $7. I traded years ago. But most of my covered calls are in that $10 range over the next 3, 6, 12, 18 months, just in case they don't make a run. But as you can see, look at all these calls in that $14, $15 range. Most of them end within the year. And then you can start to see all my puts starting right here. $3, $3.50, $4, $4, $4. A lot of puts, guys, a lot of puts. And as you can see, all this green here is we are up big on all these puts as SoFi continues to go up. We're crushing it, guys. So that's what you can do to kind of diversify your portfolio. You can own shares, and then you could sell covered calls and puts, and you can make money on both sides. My cost basis in the big dog portfolio is around between $8 and $9, right? So if I sell covered calls over that price point, I will always be making money. And then what happens is, if some of my shares get called away, what I do is I sell puts on the flip side, short term, mid-term, and long-term. So I can always keep around my 4,000 shares. And in some portfolios, I don't sell any covered calls at all whatsoever. But as you can see, a lot of these covered calls, I have 21 covered calls for $12. We're up 50% on those that end on January 17th. That's the biggest spread. And you can see some of these. I got some March $10 ones, some $10 ones for $117. And as these get closer and closer to that price point, what I can do is sell puts on the opposite end, so I'm always making cash, right? So I always like to keep my covered calls over the price that I bought the shares on, right? And then we could see we're going to start, here's some 850s that got called away today. I had some $9 for next week, but not a lot in the near term. Most of these are out pretty far, and I'm down a little bit on the covered calls, but that's why I own a lot of shares, right? Most of these end in the next year or so, but they're over $15 a share, and that would be a huge run up from where we are at right now. We've seen a ton of fluctuation with the stock and the stock price, right? So I always like to sell these covered calls, so I'm always making money. If it gets to $15 a share, I'm just going to, and as this goes up in 50-cent increments, I'm going to sell more and more puts on the opposite end, right, to kind of cover some of the losses I may have on the covered calls, okay? So that's my strategy for SoFi moving forward. I'm still accumulating shares, and what you can do, like say I have a lot of these $10 ones that are coming up. If the stock hits $10, I could cover this one, say like next week, I have a $10 call. What I can do is buy it at $10, so if it has to sell, I just get those shares taken away, but since I bought them, they kind of cancel each other out. That's the best part about selling covered calls and having cash on hand, right? You always want to have cash on hand, guys. Look, I have $21,000 in cash sitting on the sideline. So you always want to have cash sitting on the sidelines just to be able to use to your advantage. I could sell all these covered calls, and if I want to keep the shares, say it gets to $10, I just buy it at $10, and then the cover call that I sold gets taken away, but I still get to keep the 100 shares that I just bought, right? So flexibility is huge in this market, not only on downturns, but on runs up too if you're selling covered calls. So you can kind of watch where you're going and figure out the best strategies where you're always making money. I'm selling calls, I'm selling puts, I'm buying shares. So no matter what the stock does, I'm always making money. And we've had a really good year this year, guys, in the Big Dog account. That's why you have to subscribe to the channel, right? This just got transferred over, so this hasn't been an account for 2 years because it was at TD Ameritrade and now it's at Schwab, so this is kind of jacked up a little bit. But if you look year to date, actually you want to really look in like the last 3 and 6 months, you can kind of tell where this portfolio is. Last 6 months, up over 18%. All right, everyone, this is my Big Dog account. You can see the portfolio is doing really good. We're up 13% in the last month, 21%, almost 20 G's in the last 3 months. 6 months, up over 35%, up almost $30,000. That's why you guys have to subscribe to this channel so you can get all my stock updates, my favorite stocks that I'm buying each and every month. And every, 3 to 4 weeks, I'm going to give you a portfolio update, see how we are performing versus the market. And look, guys, 6-month change, up 35%. These are real-time results, guys. And if you subscribe to this channel, I can show you guys all my moves, what I'm doing in the market, so you can learn these strategies as well and make yourself a ton of money. Thank you so much for all the support. We'll catch you on the next video.